Hi guys, I'm Doczero and I'm giving a shout out to Chat with Ade. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe and share.
Welcome back to Chat with Ade, your favorite host, Ade Tiladende. And of course, I'm not here alone. We have a special guest in the house. And especially for my female ladies, women, our guest that we have today is not only qualified doctor, is an handsome, qualified doctor, is a young, handsome, qualified doctor. Hey! Bring the camera, bring it, go and sit down and get a glass of water, because this segment is going to be very, very interesting. And don't forget to make sure you put it on your comment section that I did not lie, because we can see that this doctor is he knows what's up. yes, Mr. Victor in the house. Welcome. Also known as Doczero.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Welcome to Chat with Ade.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dope.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, welcome. Please.
All right.
I hope like this morning you took your time. But you know what? You take your time all the time, because I've seen your clips now. You're always on point.
I try.
Oh my goodness. Please, for those who do not know you, introduce yourself.
Okay. So my name is Victor Oyoyo. I'm a medical doctor. Medical doctor with OV Healthcare. OV Healthcare is an online consulting platform that I set up.
It is yours.
Yes. Also a content creator. So basically that.
He's a businessman, also an entrepreneur.
I also do business on the side.
Fashion, content creator, is all packaged in one. But I believe Mr. Victor is taken. Correct?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He is.
Your wife, yeah, she did a good job. She did not let you slide, because it would have been a big mishap. Oh goodness, that's lovely. That's nice.
Thank you.
That's nice. So, being a doctor, you've worked at a hospital, a clinic, and whatnot. Yes. And for how long did you do that for?
Graduated from med school in 2011. Yes. I'm not as young
as you look.
Yeah. So I did some clinical medicine, so working in the hospital, and then I dabbled into non-clinical medicine. So I was in the health insurance industry for about 5 years. Oh. Yes. And then came back into clinical medicine, to
interesting,
more experience and all of that. But I've always loved, to impact people differently. Yes, doctors do impact people, but I've always longed to impact people differently. So that brought about me setting up OV Healthcare, which is an online consulting platform. Nowadays people find it difficult to move out of their houses to visit hospitals. So it's just selling convenience, and still giving excellent service. Yeah.
So it's great, especially right now that we're in the social media era.
Right.
Because it makes sense to have an online, service. But maybe for the clients who may need a physical,
right.
What happens?
Yes, so the online part is just the beginning, all right? There are some cases that will end there, but some cases would need physical examination, some will need investigations. That's where we now refer.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have arrangements with different healthcare facilities. So if you need to see a specialist, we'll refer you.
Okay.
If you need to run some tests, it doesn't matter what the test is, we'll refer you for that. So yeah, so it's just the beginning part. The online consultation is the beginning part. It could just end there. It could just be someone that just required counseling.
Yeah.
And it could end there. We could make a diagnosis just from the history and then based on what we see on inspection. But if we need to go further, we refer. And we follow up with the patient too.
Oh, see.
Make sure that the right thing is being done.
So do you have other people working for you, or it's just you?
It's a small team right now. Myself, a general practitioner, I have some specialists that are also with me. I have people from the pharmaceutical field, from the nursing field, from the laboratory field too. It's a small team. We just started, so we're definitely going to grow bigger.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So does anybody get paid right now, or it's just volunteer basis?
So for me, it's not about the money. So I try to explain that to my team.
Yes.
There are certain people that have to get paid, assistants, social media manager, yes. Or for the medical crew proper, for now, it's not about money. Yeah.
For now.
Because to book an appointment is actually very cheap.
Yeah.
It's 5,000 naira.
Okay.
And you get to speak with the doctor. So, yeah.
Okay. Hello. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. At least it's affordable.
Yeah, it is.
And I would assume also being online, it makes it accessible to a lot of the rural areas that even though they don't have a clinic,
yes,
but everybody's online.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's superb.
Thank you.
Congratulations for coming up with that.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So before I even go into the questions I have here, you're all decked out, and you're always decked out, and we know that you're a fashionable doctor.
Right.
Always traveling. You're just living your best life.
I try.
Like, damn. Which is, of course, that's great to be able to create a life for yourself that you see yourself actually living. Some people, they just envision what they would like to do,
never get to experience it.
Yeah, so it's really nice to be able to do that. And I would add that as a husband and I believe a father, you are able to balance it all.
Yes. Very important. Very important.
Very important. But then, how did you curate your space on the social medias?
Okay, so let's go back to when I was way younger than this, even before I became a medical doctor. I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. Ooh. Yes. So from primary school, if you'd ask me what I wanted to become, I'd mention three things actually. I'd mention medical doctor. I'd mention newscaster. Yes, because that's all I saw. I saw them in front of. I loved it. And then I'll mention professional athlete. Oh, I loved those three. Brilliant. And somehow they formed my decision making because I became a medical doctor. I decided to come in front of the camera. Time would not let me go into Nollywood and all of that, Well, you never can tell what's in the future,
I see.
And then as for the athlete part, a fitness enthusiast. So it was from childhood that these thoughts came about, and then, I just brought them into limelight. So, and my colleagues would say, how do you do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, so I'd say it's God, because somehow I find the time, even with my busy schedule to, make reels, create content, and I love it. My friends will call me vain because I love to dress up. So, so I just merge everything together. Yeah.
Wow, that's because it comes easy for you, right?
I guess so. Yes.
That's beautiful to be able to do that.
Right.
It's great. It's nice.
Thank you.
And of course, how has traveling changed your perspective on healthcare system?
Yes.
Around the world, because we live in Nigeria.
We do. Unfortunately, we do not have the support that we need from the government.
Yeah.
That's a major issue. You know, most of the other countries that have better healthcare delivery systems get the support from the government. You know, free healthcare, subsidized healthcare.
Yes.
You know, we don't have those here. We might in certain places, but free doesn't mean the service should be lower than normal. The standards should remain same. So unfortunately, in a few places where you see free healthcare and you try to access, the services, you know, so the very, very poor people would have to manage with what they are given, you know, and any other person would rather, you know, just go pay out of pocket, you know. So I think the government needs to do better. Our health insurance industry needs to be stronger. It needs to be stronger. We can't continue to be in a position where you go into a hospital because you're a health insurance user or you have the NHIS card, you're treated as a lesser citizen. Because it happens. You know, you say, oh, it's NHIS or it's HMO, okay, go this way, you know, because the hospital will not be paid as much as they'll be paid for someone that's paying out of pocket. So regulation is key. Even our hospitals here should be better regulated.
Yes.
You know, staffing, equipment, medications. I happen to have worked on both sides, from the health insurance industry and from the clinical part. So I've seen it all. I've seen people cut corners and nothing is being done about it, you know. So traveling, you know, yes, I've seen better things and I think they can be replicated here. I'll give you one particular example. I went to Vietnam and I met a New Zealander and the wife. And we just got talking. I said, I'm a medical doctor. And then they mentioned something, herbal medicine. And they told me how big it was in New Zealand.
Wow.
Yes, you go to a hospital and you're given the options. Do you want orthodox or non-orthodox? You know, and it got me thinking, we have these herbs here. What's happening? You know, so it comes to regulation. We need to probably set up bodies that will regulate these. And people need to also be open with sharing with these regulatory bodies the herbs they use. You know, everybody wants to cover it up because, you know, my grandfather passed it on to me. And then it all boils down to the fact that they don't trust the system.
That's it. Wow. So right there, you've definitely brought a little crack, and someone watching should step up and fill in that crack.
Yes, please.
It's money there. There is money.
It's
just you do have to do a lot of the work first, but there is money. And the thing is, a lot of people do use the herbal medications. They do. They do. It's just not seen, you know, like you mentioned, a lot of people try to just front it because it's not socially, I would say, to an extent, it's not socially seen as that's the right way to medicate. But at the end of the day, a lot of people still use that way, and it works for them.
It works, of course.
Right?
Of course.
So I think, you definitely have something going there. And of course, I'm sure when you're in your rooms and the meetings, you would be throwing that in there, you know. And I think it's also good for those who are in the lower income earners. It's going to be a bit more affordable for them. But yet knowing that this is the right medication to use.
Exactly.
You know, not just take it because somebody said you can't.
You should take this.
So I think that's superb. Thanks for that. So what has traveling taught you that medicine never could?
Okay. Let's see. How do I answer this question now? Because I've gotten lessons from both, and they do intertwine. But something that stands out from traveling that I didn't learn from medicine. Well, so I would say people, and I will explain.
Yes, please.
So in medicine, you do meet people because you meet patients and all, but I practice in Nigeria, you know, so I meet the same kind of people. Yes, you'd meet one or two foreigners here and there, but traveling just opens your eyes to meeting other people, how they think, how they interact, you know, so that was very, very helpful for me. And guess what? I applied that in dealing with my patients, you know. So I've been to a few countries and I've seen them relate totally differently, you know. So yes, it was an eye-opener that, oh, there are people out there that think totally differently from the way you think and the way they approach things.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's little I can, you know, say that I learned differently.
You learned. Yeah, and it's great. It's true because, and I'm always an advocate because also I've been someone that travels from when I was young, and I have been an advocate for people to travel. I'm like, get out of your zone.
Yes, please.
Just because there's so much more to life than your space. There's so much more to life. Even if, okay, like we can say Nigeria has, to an extent, you know, there's fun in the school. You know, there's this life that it gives you that, you know, America will not give you.
True.
You know, there's this feel of fulfillment that's, yes, you feel like you're leaving, not just working. I mean, waking up, going to work, coming back, pay bills. You know, there's so much more you can see that life gives you here in Nigeria or in Africa than it does in the Western world.
True.
But then also, if you do not go out of this zone, you would not see that there's a different way to think.
Yeah.
You know, there's a different way to see this life that we live in. You know, there's so much opportunities out there that it's not just what you're used to and what you've been taught from generations to generations, but you see someone else, like you just mentioned, have a whole different mindset of how to view life, and you're like, is it more than just waking up? You know, you feel like, this person is too deep, but what is this?
Exactly.
Or you will say that this person thinks, they don't think too deep.
Yeah, they don't,
like,
hold
it's
on
not
to
that
those things,
serious.
like, yeah, they just,
you know. And so it's always good to travel. It's all, especially from when you're young, because you're still building your identity. You know, your surrounding. You're trying to find yourself. So I think when you're young, it's always great to travel out, go somewhere. Just get out.
Try to travel, guys.
Yes.
Travel.
Follow the doctor.
It's therapeutic also. You know, it's therapy for. So there are people that might be going through some difficult mental issues, you know, and they've taken all medications and all of that. But sometimes just travel somewhere and just spend a few days, and you come back refreshed and you're feeling better.
Even just the few hours you'll be inside the plane. Yeah. In the clouds.
Yeah, just away from that place that you're always in. Yeah.
It takes you you go to a different realm at that point.
True.
So yeah, that's super. Our next question. Do you think travel is a form of therapy, which you just mentioned? Why or why not? Let's dive into that a little bit more.
Yes. Yes. So first of all, the fact that you're leaving your comfort zone or where you're so used to and you're stepping into another location, that also plays on the mind and is therapeutic. Then you go to a totally different area. You're seeing things. Vietnam is so beautiful. Vietnam did not pay me for this, but I wanted to do Asia, and my travel agent, who's also a family friend, she says Vietnam. I'm like, what's there about Vietnam? You know, I just know them with war, you know. And then I went there and I was in awe. I came back, I was so refreshed. So imagine someone that's probably having a mental issue, depression, or any of the mental situations, and then they travel to another location. They see things they've never seen before. It will put a smile on their faces. It will put a smile on their heart, you know, and it will help them, you know. So yes, it is therapeutic, mostly for mental health situations. And mental health situations, a lot of times, even boils down to the physical. So we call them psychosomatic disorders. So it's here, but it's manifesting here. You know, so you've gone to the hospital, they've done all tests, they've done all examinations, and nothing's changed. Travel. And you'll be surprised, just go somewhere, take a mud bath somewhere,
right.
or jump into the ocean somewhere, or go bungee jumping. Just do something
different.
Yes, and trust me, those are therapeutic.
Great. So how has experiencing different cultures shaped your view of life and purpose?
I'll go back to herbal medicine. That's the one I'm going to hold on to, because it is shaping my thoughts about medicine itself and made me understand that we can actually go that path. I have always known that herbal medicine exists. Of course I'm African. But I have never embraced it because it was shrouded in secrecy.
Yes.
So and guess what? My grandmom was a herbalist.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So medicine runs in the family.
It runs in the family. So my grandmom was a herbalist, but I didn't understand it. So having studied orthodox medicine that I can explain, I held that high. So anybody talks about herbal medicine, I'm like, And then I traveled. And then I met that couple, and then they explained to me what they were doing with herbal medicine in New Zealand and how big it was. Then I thought again, if this exists, why can't we implement it? Why can't we put it into practice? So that's where the whole regulation thing. So that definitely gave me a new mindset. Changed my thoughts about
Agreed. And you would think a land like this, where we started with the herbal medicine. Like, you would think we would have been like top notch with it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand.
Because the people in power are not interested in that. Probably will not put anything into their pockets.
They're not interested in the people.
Do you understand? Exactly. If we had a regulatory body that was a proper regulatory body that would grow this industry, I tell you, we would do big. We would export these things.
Yes, now.
People will come from different parts of the world to see what's happening here.
To learn.
Yeah.
Like, man,
but we're not thinking about that. We're thinking of let us make the money. No.
Now that our generation, we are even helping our future generations to help them eat.
I'm telling you,
it's just terrible.
Yeah, sad.
So, do you think seeing other countries' healthcare access has made you more critical of Nigerian system?
Yes, it has. Like I said, my eyes are open now. They were not shut before, but they're squinting. So now they're wide open, and I understand it better. So if I'm put in a room where a decision needs to be made, I can fight for it based on what I've seen in other countries, how they put these things into play. But my question is, the people in those positions, they travel. So what is wrong? They see these things. They see these things.
They see it.
Our health insurance industry, for example, can be a lot better. But for years now, it's still been on the same level. Maybe it's even worse. So yeah, it's sad. We just need people that think this way in power. And then
But I think sometimes, before they get there, they'll give us all the stories on how.
And then when they get there,
they just forget. So like, something happens right before you take this position, and as soon as you take the position, what happens to you? Is there like an oath you have to take?
I'm beginning to think that could be the case. There's a lot of godfatherism.
Yes.
And when you get there, you want to do what you had in mind. They tell you that, hello, no, we're not here for that. This is not why we are here.
So it's really sad, but I do believe we can't continue like this.
No.
Like, I think we should be done following the footsteps of our forefathers in a way that is not moving in a positive direction. But true. Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
What's the most surprising medical fact or practice you've encountered on your travels, at least outside of the herbal?
Yeah. I think it will come to what would called non-pharmacologic treatment. So that's treating an individual without medicine. You know, I think I saw that also in Vietnam. I saw a bit of it in Dubai. And what they do is they make a diagnosis and no medications are given, nature.
Oh.
Yeah, so just using nature for healing. It could be going to a camp and experiencing certain things, you know, and then also getting counseling alongside with that. I think that's the one that stands out, aside the herbal medicine that I've been ranting about, you know. So nature is very therapeutic. Do we have nature here in Nigeria? We do.
We do.
Yes, we do. But it's not something we embrace. Probably because nobody has really put it forward. The places where we have nature, how safe are they? You know, and the Nigerian mindset is that which nature? I beg you. Do you understand? You know, but it's something that's working out there. So of course it will also work here if we
embrace it.
If we embrace it.
We have so much resources, like so much natural resources.
I'm telling you.
We just take advantage of it. We take for granted. And the funny thing is, like, hello, people are coming in here to take our natural resources.
Yeah.
Wake up. Let's even capitalize on it.
Wake up.
Not for one person or a certain amount of people, but let the people, the citizens, be able to capitalize on it. Let them know that yes, we have this, we're proud that we have this, and we are able to invite others, you know, or at least in exchange of one thing or the other. But let's be proud of what we have and not just see it as...
It starts from there. It starts from there, really.
It's not.
I believe with time, so I always say to myself that there's a particular capsule I swallow, and it's called Hopsin. Hopsin capsule.
I think Nigeria is 99.9%.
At one point, I wasn't seeing the light at the end of the tunnel again. I was like, oh, this light is no longer there. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. But what's life without hope? So we still have to hold on to that hope. And the difference with probably the generation before us will be, we need to go into action. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the generation before us, they saw the light at the end of the tunnel and hoped that they will get there, but they never did anything, you know. So we and the generation coming need to put these things into action, need to speak, you know, set up bodies, create NGOs and form a coalition and just make sure that as you're talking, an action is being taken. Yeah,
it's very, and I think not just only even in the healthcare, but in so many other sectors.
Almost all the sectors. Almost all the sectors.
We're so lacking behind in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, right now I think we have more youths than the older generation.
Yes,
so we need to start moving, and it's not just on social media, but like you just mentioned, we have to take action.
Yeah.
Let them see that it's not about just what we're saying, but it's what we are also doing. And I'm sure we've seen some instances where you do have the few people that are trying to do, but then you have the system that's
frustrating them. Yes.
You know, and that is upsetting.
It is very upsetting. And
I believe it also, the hope, you know, that some have kind of just disappears.
Yeah.
Because I know I've had some individuals from, you know, abroad that come to Nigeria with their savings and they're like, yes, you know, this is a project that makes sense, which it does, you know, it's going to affect a lot of lives, which it will, but by the time they start trying to do the rightful things, the system frustrates them and then eats up the old funds and they're left with nothing.
And they're like, okay, I tried.
Yeah, like I tried, this is not going to work, and they go back.
Yeah.
And even most recently, there was someone that told me that, you know what, if you want to invest in the lives of about to go back home, don't go to Nigeria, go to other countries in Africa where their system actually works.
Yeah, so they're willing to embrace you know, this change.
Which, you know, the man, it wasn't just saying it, he did it, and he thought that, yeah, he tried it in Nigeria.
And a lot of people are saying the same thing.
And it's like, it's great, of course, but man, when is Nigeria going to wake up and embrace individuals trying to, because if the government doesn't want to do it, no problem. The individuals that want to do it,
don't frustrate them, let them do it.
So it's like clearly they're making some kind of funds, they're making money, it's equipping them for us not to be equipped.
They've sold to the citizens the idea that certain things are not possible.
Yes.
But people are traveling now, people are seeing that these things are possible. So when you have people go get the experience and come here, want to implement it, they will definitely frustrate them because it will end up showing that they're lying. You know, so that's why the resistance is there. But you know what? I think if you keep pushing, if we keep pushing, you know, at some point the ball will break. So
we gotta keep pushing, you guys.
We
gotta
have
keep pushing. We have to for you know, not for just ourselves, but for the future generations. Like they should not grow up and be where we are.
That would be so sad.
Oh my goodness.
That would be so sad.
Because how many people wants to travel? Like how many people wants to leave?
Everybody can't leave.
Everybody can't leave. And then even the ones that have gone, it's not that they are happy being abroad. No, they're just frustrated of this country. That's why they leave. It's not because they want to be in abroad. No, because abroad also, like I said earlier, there's a fulfillment that Africa gives you. I'm not even going to say Nigeria alone, but the soil of Africa, the atmosphere, the environment, and just to be able to see people of like colors just rampant everywhere and not being seen as you're a colored person, just being on the line. There's this fulfillment that it gives you that other line cannot give you. So people out there, it's not because they want to be out there, but it's because they're frustrated to want to be the ones to rescue the rest of the family.
Totally agree.
You know?
Totally agree. Because I know certain people that have traveled and mentally they're not happy.
No.
They're not happy, you know. Yes, they're going to work, making the money, you know, sending money back, but they'd rather be here.
That's it.
Making money and just enjoying it. You know?
Yeah, even if you're making less, but you're able to, the basic necessities are being taken care of, they'd rather be here.
Rather be here.
Listen, the cold out there ain't a joke.
So I experienced a bit of the cold recently. I've never traveled during the winter.
Oh.
And so I went to Paris in France, spring, and it wasn't even that cold. And I was like, my goodness.
Early in the morning.
And I thought I loved cold.
Yeah, the AC cold, yes.
I was like, my goodness. So there's someone there living in even a colder environment. Canada, for example. Some places in Canada, some places in the US, you know, Russia and all of that. And
they're surviving.
Yeah. I don't think if Nigeria was good enough, they would remain here.
They would remain here.
Nobody wants to go put themselves through
at all. They would remain.
Then you layer yourself. Right?
It's not fun.
Yeah.
And then you're working, it's not that you just want to be at home. You have to go to work.
Oh my God.
And then you have to wake up early. Everywhere is dark. By the time you come back from work, everywhere is dark. I said, listen, they'd rather be under the sun, even if you're under AC.
I'm telling you, that's a lie.
Oh goodness. But yes, like you mentioned earlier, our generation needs to keep pushing.
Yes.
We can't sit down and be looking like the generations before, because we now are pointing fingers on our parents and our grandparents, like, what did you do? You ain't doing nothing, you just,
And we don't want the same situation for us. Our kids cannot point fingers and say, what did you do?
Exactly.
No, we need to change the narrative.
We need to change the narratives. We need to not be scared, because I find a lot of the things with Nigerians is like they're always so scared to take that leap. Nobody wants to be in the forefront.
Say Nami was like, right.
I was like, me? No. But if it's time to give money now, you'll be the first one to be there. So it's like someone needs to definitely take that plunge for the rest. And we do have one or two people like right now, doing that. And then when they are able to do that, let's support them.
Right.
Like, that's the least you can do, is support the person that decide that, yes, I'm going to go ahead. Like, support. That is it. Because they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for everyone.
Everybody, yes.
Everybody. Don't think about the ones, your celebs or, you know, your political whatever that you are a fan of. But think about the masses, because the politicians are always going to keep rotating. There's always going to be politics.
Yeah.
Celebrities are always going to be celebs. It's going to be more. But what about the masses? What about the generations to come? And that's
very important.
The reason why some people leave here to go abroad, not because it's better, but it's because they thought about the future of the generations to come.
Yes.
That's what just made the country different. So we need to definitely buckle our pants and tie our shoelaces.
We need to do more and more and more.
Yeah, to the needful. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, yes, yes. So now we're going to go to a different element called 1 minute drill.
1 minute drill.
1 minute drill. Please help me with the timer. Help me with the timer. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, okay. 1 minute drill with Mr. Victor Yo, aka Doczero. Okay then. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I pick my phone.
Guilty. Well, at least it's telling the truth. Last show you binge watched?
Yellowstone.
Okay. Who is your favorite Nigerian celebrity?
Whew. I can't pick any of my friends. RMD.
Okay. Most used emoji?
Let's see. I think I use the don't know emoji.
Doctor says he doesn't know. What problem? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Paris.
Okay. Make sure you have your jacket ready. What's one thing you never leave home without?
My phone.
Okay. If you had to delete one app from your phone forever, what would it be?
Twitter.
Ouch. One trend you wish would die?
Sagging.
Yeesh. Who would you love to interview on your podcasts?
Genevieve Naji.
Oh, sweet, because her birthday was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What's one song that's always on your playlists? Oh,
time is up.
Well, you did good, though. You tried.
Thank you. How many questions did I answer?
You answered 8 out of 12.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no, you answered 9.
9. Okay, that's fair.
Good. Yes.
It's a pass mark in medical school.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you very much.
The next segment is gonna keep it, or we kick it to the curb.
Okay. So keep or kick.
Yes. All right. You ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
Money or fame?
I'll keep money. Kick fame. Bye, fame. Let's have this money.
Are you sure you like to be in the camera?
Well, so the thing is, one I found out is, with the money I can get that fame that I want. Yes, but sometimes you can be famous and you're broke.
Yes. Well, that's the one we don't want.
And then with the money you can make a lot of change too. Fame too, but with the money you can make a lot of change.
Yes, good one. Respect or loyalty?
I will keep loyalty and kick respect.
Agreed. Beyonce or Alicia Keys?
Okay. Some people don't come for me. No, I'll keep Beyonce and kick Alicia Keys.
Why?
Yeah, because I just think Beyonce is she has more impact. I'm all about impact. Alicia Keys has done some things too. Yeah, she has. But who's there? Who's here now? And out there? I take Beyonce.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Wizkid Superstar or
God.
Wanda Cole's Mushin to Mohit?
I'll keep Wizkid and kick Wanda Cole.
Who would you date, Tiwa or Yemi?
Tiwa.
Why?
She's elegant. She's what is it? And she's beautiful.
So Yemi
I like her
Alade is
style.
not- It's better you just tell me like her style. 'Cause
I like her
elegant
style.
and beautiful. Yemi Alade too is
Yeah,
elegant.
yeah, yeah, but so elegant, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Yemi Alade will be my big sis.
Ah, that hurts. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Okay. 25 million or dinner with Mr. President?
25 million. Which Mr. Guinea?
Nobody's
1
meeting our
million.
president. Ouch.
But which president though?
Our president, no,
He'll be fine.
He'll be okay.
He'll be okay.
Ouch, 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 ouch. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. But what would
Thank
be something that you would like to leave with, our guests? Like, what would be a motivating thing that, you would like to leave with us?
Okay, so I'd go back to my core, which is health. Don't play with your health. Get checked. We have this mentality in Nigeria that if waiting you don't know no go kill you. That's a big lie. It will kill you. It will kill you. So get checked. In medicine, a lot of times early detection is key. If you find it early, you can nip it in the bud and you live a long life. So it's better for you to know now. Yes, it's tough accepting the fact that you've been diagnosed of this thing.
Yeah.
But over time, you're going to get better. You do the right things and you live a long life. So get checked. Don't sweep it under the carpet. Especially if there's a family history or you're feeling some way that you didn't used to feel. Even if you feel 100 perfect, go get checked.
Because we definitely see a lot of people that are doing fine 1 minute and they just slump.
A lot. I've had a lot of cases like that, Oh, he was good this morning. He was at office. Everyone was happy. And then there's the office I used to work. There's a patient that we got called to come attend to in the main building. And by the time we got there, he was dead.
Oh my gosh.
They were in a meeting and they were laughing and gisting and he stood up he wanted to, and then he just dropped. Guess what? When we looked into his file, he had an underlying condition. But the last time he came was months ago.
Oh, wow.
And he was advised to come back. So it's important you check these things because your body might be deceiving you and you say, I'm doing good. Don't mind those doctors, don't mind those medical professionals. I'm fine. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's not just about the happiness. So go get checked, guys.
Go get checked, bro. And, our doctor is online.
Yes.
So at least.
Yeah, so if you are scared that, if I go to this hospital, it will be so super expensive, you get it at a discounted rate. And we'll advise you on the necessary things.
Yeah. So please do the needful. Our doctor is in the house, our handsome doctor is in the house. He knows what's up. He's been in the industry for years.
Yeah.
So he's giving you the correct information. Check him out. Ask all the questions from your mother, your auntie, or your grandpa.
Every single person in your life, ask the questions.
Ask the questions. It's very important. So we want to say thank you so much for coming. We enjoyed this time. I'm sorry we took a little bit of your time.
It's okay.
But
thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was very exciting.
Yes.
I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yes, so we have to do catwalk because this can't just come and be going like that. Don't worry. Check us out on our TikTok. We're going to do some catwalk. Alright, y'all. Don't forget to do the needful. Follow, comment, subscribe, and share. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Bye. Thanks for watching.